I want to thank you for bringing Canada together. It took such a malignant, narcissistic slug like you to make us put aside all of our differences, all our regional fights.
Hey, Donald, America hates you. The world hates you.
Remember when the Japanese were super polite people who never walked out on meetings? Well, they just told Trump and his tariff tantrums to shove it. Financial Times reports Japanese delegates flew all the way home without a deal. They literally preferred jet lag to more Trump talks. Meanwhile, Goldman Sachs is warning that Trump's policies could cost America billions as tourists cancel trips and countries boycott our products. Want to see how a so-called business genius is tanking our economy in real time? You're in the right place. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Ever notice how Trump brags about being the greatest deal maker in history? The guy who talks about the art of the deal like it's the Bible part 2. Well, it turns out other countries would rather fly across the planet than sit across the table from him.
Donald Trump's approval on all other issues plummeting. Donald Trump's overall approval plummeting across the board, even in Republican pro-Trump polls. You are the most loathsome president in the history of the United States, the most contemptible individual in the world right now.
Donald, because Canada is always going to be a country of diversity. We will always be a country of equity. We will always be a country of inclusion, and we will defend the rule of law. And if you want to continue fighting with us, you are going to lose at the end of the day.
The Financial Times recently dropped a bombshell report that Japanese delegates literally boarded a plane and flew all the way back to Tokyo rather than continue trade negotiations with Trump. Think about that. They chose 14 hours of cramped airplane seats and jet lag over spending another minute listening to Trump's tariff threats. That's like leaving a bad Tinder date by faking your own death. And it's not just Japan giving Trump the diplomatic equivalent of new phone, who dis? Countries everywhere are treating Trump's negotiation tactics like a contagious disease. These nations that used to be our closest allies are now basically saying, it's not me, it's definitely you. Remember when Trump said trade wars are good and easy to win? Turns out they're about as easy to win as a rigged carnival game, except in this case, Americans are the ones getting scammed. The economic fallout is getting so bad that even Goldman Sachs, not exactly a tree-hugging liberal think tank, is sounding alarm bells louder than Trump's caps lock key. Their economists project the US could hemorrhage up to 0.3% of its GDP. That's a staggering $90 billion from declining foreign tourism and international boycotts of American products. Imagine losing billions of dollars because other countries are putting America in the global shopping cart and then clicking remove item.
I want to thank you for bringing Canada together. It took such a malignant, narcissistic slug like you to make us put aside all of our differences, all our regional fights.
Thousands of protests like that in towns and cities across America. I'll be doing a whole other video highlighting the signs, the protests, another successful day of opposing the regime.
All of our concerns with each other and realize that we actually had to stand up for something better, which is standing up for the rule of law, standing up for democracy, standing up for decency.
While all this economic damage piles up, Trump keeps posting that he has the best poll numbers ever, with more exclamation points than a teenage girl's diary. But the actual numbers paint a picture bleaker than his spray tan in the rain. Nearly 2/3 of Americans, 64% to be exact, believe his tariff policies will lead to increased inflation. That's a lot of folks who aren't buying what he's selling, literally and figuratively. And a majority, 51%, are completely against his tariff-happy approach to international trade. The irony here is thicker than Trump's makeup. The economy was supposed to be his strong suit, the one area where even his critics had to admit he wasn't completely clueless. But now his economic approval ratings are circling the drain faster than his failed casino ventures.
Hey, Donald, America hates you. The world hates you. So what's Donald Trump doing as his approval is plummeting to new lows?
And we know that we're on your border and it freaks you out because you and your incel gang are so freaked out about diversity, equity, inclusion, your DEI nightmare. Well, we are your DEI nightmare.
And Americans and the world are letting you know how we all collectively feel about you.
Even polls that usually lean in his favor show his numbers tanking across the board. It's like watching a magician's career end when someone posts the secrets revealed video online. His immigration policies aren't faring any better. In April, Trump scored a net approval rating of -6 on immigration, with 52% of Americans rating his approach as terrible or very poor. Just a month earlier, he was actually in positive territory on this issue. That's quite the mood swing, like going from "let's get married" to "I'm filing a restraining order in 30 days. Those tough-sounding tariff threats that had his base cheering at rallies are now scaring businesses more than a tax audit. Companies are postponing investments, consumers are watching prices climb, and international markets are forming anti-American alliances faster than high schoolers excluding the weird kid at lunch. Trump's economic policies are like those diet pills that promise instant results but actually just give you explosive diarrhea, temporary excitement followed by prolonged suffering. So what happens when the self-proclaimed king of deals can't actually close any deals that benefit America? When the economic emperor has no clothes? His approval ratings crash harder than the stock market on tariff announcement day. Americans are finally seeing through the economic smoke and mirrors. They're realizing that screaming "best economy ever"
History will not look kindly on you and your ilk. That protest I showed at the beginning of this video was from Cincinnati's 50-51 protest on Saturday. Donald Trump's approval on the economy, the lowest it's ever been, including his first term.
I'm not saying it's not going to hurt us, but we are true, we are North, we are strong, we are free, and we are ready for this fight, Donald. So make up your mind.
On social media doesn't actually make it true, no matter how many exclamation points you add. The thing about reality is that it eventually catches up, no matter how hard you try to tweet it away. Trump's economic fantasy world is collapsing around him, and his increasingly bizarre behavior shows he's feeling the pressure. He's like a poker player who's bet all his chips on a pair of twos and is now sweating as the cards get turned over. So here's the truth. Trump is living in his own fantasy land where his approval ratings are the best ever. Meanwhile, back on planet Earth, the numbers are tanking faster than his failed businesses. Every time reality catches up with him, he just posts another delusional social media rant filled with exclamation points and reposts of people saying how great he is. It's like watching someone insist the Titanic isn't sinking while standing in water up to their neck. The more desperate he gets, the more he posts. The more his approval crashes, the more he claims victory. The emperor of economics isn't just naked, he's drowning in denial.